This is why I say it's so urgent, because we're seeing all of these converging signs that are showing that this rapture is imminent. It's absolutely imminent. We've just had the birthday, the 60th birthday of the former 44th president of the U.S. and what seems to be, in many regards, a revelation. We've seen the scaling back, as Brother Steve Fletcher says, a scaling back of information related to who this Antichrist might be, and the signs are there. The signs are all there. I mean, he literally, used very direct biblical symbology to describe his appearance, to describe his revelation. I'm concerned, obviously, because, I know that your son's trapped behind, he's trapped in another country. There's no way that he can get back. And I know that immediately after the rapture, they are going to close all travel bubbles instantaneously, which means it'll be like the last time that he will ever have a chance to get back into Australia.
I know nothing I said about that, though.
You see, this is why I said to you at the beginning, if you prayed about this and left it in God's hands and actually asked him to, reveal Christ to you, if you said, God, please show me and actually speak directly to...
I did, Michael. I did.
So you've prayed to Jesus?
I have prayed to wake myself up if I'm not on the right thing. Everything else I have, not just being narrow-minded and whatever. I really have, Michael.
Because I tell you, Isa in Islam is not Jesus at all. It's not even the same character. They don't have the same profile. They don't act in the same ways. They don't outline biblically the exact same revelational paths. They're not the same people at all. I always say there's only one place where Jesus Christ appears, and that's in the Holy Bible. There's no other place. There's plenty of books that demonstrably think that they can show that Jesus is in their books, and it's not the same Jesus at all.
Okay, well, that's where we differ.
See, because it's terrifying for anyone left behind. For Christians, this is an exciting time because we know we're not going to be here. And the fact that presumably the Antichrist has been revealed, and it says actually very clearly biblically that it won't happen unless the Antichrist is revealed, until the man of sin, the man of perdition is revealed, then we are out of here. So it's a this then that situation, and this has been the revelation. We assume we're seeing it as a possibility that we've actually just had it shown to us, revealed to us from Martha's Vineyard, that this former president is possibly the Antichrist. And if that is the case, then we're at, doors knocked to the rapture. It could happen tonight. And they're about to have an emergency alert system warning throughout the United States. And I see apparently in Australia as well, it's going to be the start of their emergency alert system. So this is, and what I told you about that media leak with the mass evacuation and the deployment action documents. So we know this is imminent. Not only biblically is it telling us, but from a real world perspective that's playing out in front of us, there seems to be a lot of signage that's showing that the world is preparing for this. New Agers are preparing for the arrival of their extra-terrestrial brothers, All over the Middle East, they're waiting for their Maitreya. Everybody is waiting on this. The Jews themselves are waiting for their Antichrist to appear and start to build their temple. So this is revelationally happening. It's really the end times.
I know that we, see things a little bit differently. God. I know you're...
Because remember a little earlier today, you were describing to me the Antichrist, right? And it was significantly different to the description that I had for him. And it's because we're seeing it, you're seeing it from kind of a different perspective, as in always think in reverse. From Islam's perspective, it's always the reverse of what we see.
Not always the reverse. There's a lot of overlap and similarities.
Okay, name two, two of them.
Okay, that involves that Jesus is coming back.
Yeah, but it's not the same
That
Jesus.
he's going to fight.
It's called Isa, and biblically,
That is where you're...
no, and biblically,
Can I ask,
yeah.
are you what they would call a reformed Christian?
A what?
A reformed Christian?
A reformed? No, I'm just mainstream Christian. No reformed, none of those other accolades. No other labels. Just mainstream Christian who believes that Jesus Christ in the KJV, the King James Version, is not the Jesus Christ of any other book, inclusive of Islam. Islam's Isa is not Yeshua HaMashiach. They are completely different characters. One dies for mankind's collective sin, for each one individual sin, and the other one never made it to the cross. The other one was rescued, apparently, because the father made a choice that he didn't want his son to be hurt. And in thus doing, he actually confesses that it was his son. So, the whole thing is just one big question mark. It's not the same Jesus. The Jesus Christ is Yeshua HaMashiach. He is the Son of God. You know what I mean? It's a hard pill to swallow. It's a really hard pill to swallow. It's hard to believe that 1.9 billion people might be deceived. It's very hard.
It is a hard...
That's how good a deceiver this deceiver is. He is a really good deceiver. That's why they call him the great deceiver in Islam, not in the Bible, in Islam. They call him the great deceiver. He calls himself the great deceiver. So that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the possibility that if people get left behind, it's going to be terrifying. It's going to be every horror movie you imagine rolled into one. Sorry, I know you're having dinner or something, isn't it?
I've got my hand watching some horrible show in the background.
Shame.
Violent, horrible things.
I adore you. I obviously want to see everybody saved, and I know that I would love to see, all my beautiful friends that are Islamic saved, and they're not saved. They're trying to get in front of the judge of heaven and bribe the judge and say to the judge, look, all my good works, do you think am I able to pass judgment and get into heaven? And God has set the standard. He has set the examination question, which is Jesus Christ. That's the answer. There's no other answer. God is God. This is a 5,781-year-old communication from the Hebrews to God directly. Anything and everything that comes after that is not the source materials. It's, even Islam was written in 650 AD. That's a whole 580 years after Apostle Paul wrote down the final books, the final 13 books of his apostle writing, the epistles included. Yeah, this is why I say this is really something to genuinely be, to look at, investigate it properly, because everybody's watching Netflix and sitting, waiting for the latest scores of some game that's being played with a half-filled spectator stadium, and they don't realize that the best thing you could be doing right now with your life is, looking at the travel log for heaven and looking at making sure you really are investigating your eternity properly. Otherwise, you know, you don't want to get caught up in being shunted overnight all of a sudden by knocks on your door and be taken to a detainment camp and then separated from your family and not, you know, and not be able to get out of it without taking the vaka, you know, the cow, the golden calf, the abomination of desolation. That's how serious this is. It's pretty crazy. So anyway, I didn't want to disturb you. I know it's a little bit disturbing, and we're not given the spirit of fear. We mustn't be fearful. But you asked me a question that I wanted to answer, because you said to me, what's your backup plan if there's no rapture? What's your backup plan if you're not in the rapture?
Well, I'm putting my complete trust in God. He has a plan for me.
The same God who doesn't rapture you, is it? Because
Well, okay, you got to tell me what if, yeah, this time next year, if you're still here, and it hasn't happened yet, and the 44th ex-president is not what you thought. What's your plan? But you know what? I'm not expecting you to change your plan. I believe you're still on the path.
Yeah.
And you carry on. You carry on the path, and you wait for the allotted time, because we don't know exactly when it is. As far as the signs that I've seen in relation to what we've been told,
yeah,
it's not tomorrow. It's not that quick, but it's soon.
So you reckon there's still a year or two ahead, is it?
I do.
And what are you basing that on? Because I like to base things on facts. What's the fact pattern?
The signs are not as clear and sharp and right here now. There's a lot of indications pointing to the fact that we are in the end times, beginning of the end times. But it's not tomorrow. From what I see, it's not tomorrow.
What if it's tomorrow, and then all of a sudden, overnight, the acceleration of events happens within a week? Like within 1 week.
Which is possible. And then I told you, if I'm proved wrong,
yeah.
And I have been, Michael, when I was in hospital, and I thought that was it for me.
Yeah.
And I prayed and prayed, but to whoever, right?
Yeah.
Please guide me to the straight path, whatever the right thing is.
Yeah.
Open my eyes. And you're in the thing too. If I'm wrong and Michael's thing, please help me to see things differently than what I'm still seeing and feeling, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And I made a promise to you that if I'm wrong and proven wrong, I will do what I promised. I will fulfill my promise, because I'm not too proud to say that I could be wrong.
And what is that promise?
I told you to bring 1,000 people with me on your path.
To bring 1,000 people to Jesus Christ.
That's what my promise is, if I'm wrong.
Okay. Now, okay.
And so in a year's time, if we're still having this discussion, well, I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm not going to say you're wrong, because that doesn't mean that you're wrong. It just means your timing was wrong and you misread the signs. So in other words, I wasn't
looking at the Gregorian calendar. I was looking at the Hebrew calendar, or at the Enoch calendar.
The timing is not. It definitely, there's a guide there, but the precision and the accuracy of the dates and times are not given. It's a guide.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because we are definitely looking at what seems to be an illusory playing of a picture in front of us that seems to indicate that things are they're moving fast, but there's still a long way to go. But it's illusory. It's an illusion, because under the surface, there's a lot of structure and infrastructure that's being put into place very, very quickly. It's a little bit like a duck on water and its feet are paddling crazily underneath the surface. So there's definitely things going on. The way I'm seeing it, though, and I think this is the reason why I thought if you could somehow ask him to get on a plane and get back here, back to Australia, because...
Michael, he's not even talking to me. He's not even talking to me. I can't even communicate with him.
That's sad because,
I know, Michael, it's not as... It's sad to you, but it's devastating to me.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like I know I'm not going to see him again. That's what I feel.
And remember what I said to you, that if you gave this problem to God, to Jesus, you will have this resolved. Because it's...
Michael, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
I know.
And I appreciate, and it's for both sides. From my point,
yeah,
you can give me all the guidance you want, but I can get there and I can refuse to. I can hold steadfast to what I feel very strongly about and committed to.
Sure.
And also from my son's point of view, he's not even talking to me, Michael. I send him something like me every day, and he doesn't even look at it. That's
sad.
And I've tried every approach. And I remember you said, don't be needy, don't whatever.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing that. I tried doing funny videos of himself as a child. I tried to everything. She doesn't even look at it. Doesn't even look at it.
There's only one thing, and then I'll let you go, because I know this is a bit of a challenging one, and I apologize. I mean, we always have good laughs and things, but this is so serious. I'm just concerned that this thing happens overnight. You will have no time whatsoever to do anything. You don't have any preparations in place. If they come around to take you and family members away, what do you do? And how do you deliver on that promise, the 1,000 new souls into the kingdom? Because you might be stuck in a place where, it's hard for you to get up the stairs. There are challenges involved here. And also, the rest of your family. I mean, if they've got no fundamentals, biblical fundamentals, it's going to be so easy for them to be pushed over the cliff and accept the abomination of desolation. It's going to be very easy for them to accept it because, the minute you deprive them of 2 or 3 of their favorite things, including a hairdryer, they might just trade that to get the abomination of desolation in their bloodstream. So this is quite a serious thing. Like, how do you, without the fundamentals, proper biblical fundamentals, that this thing is potentially the mark of the beast, which will prevent them from having access to heaven and eternal life, it is quite a serious subject. And it needs to be addressed early, because if you're waiting for after the rapture to try to address this problem, it's you may never have that chance. It's taken a year of communicating with you to just explain it to you. So, for you to try and explain it to other people, to family members, it's going to take you a while to explain it to them.
But it should be easier then. Shouldn't it be easier then?
because you're the communique Behind the lines, yes, I suppose.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you, I've done a very good job of informing you and giving you complete and total updates.
You have. You've been amazing.
You've had a personal Bible teacher in your life giving you all of this information. So I've been able to answer each and every one of your objections, and I think you'll be able to now answer each and every one of your prospects' objections, yeah?
You have. You've been amazing.
Okay, so what are you going to rate me? 5 stars or 4?
Well, for persistence, you get an A. Persistence, and you definitely get an A for persistence. And I know it's out of care. I know that it's care and love, and we both. The problem is we both passionately believe we're right. But I do believe that both of us are also humble enough that if we are proven wrong, we will accept that we could have been wrong. Both of us. I believe that to you too. Even though I'm sure right now you think that's not possible.
Okay.
But you actually have been amazing. You really, really, really have been. Doing your research, your effort. You get, A triple plus the effort.
Thank you.
You really have. You really have been amazing.
Okay. Yeah, it is. You're right. It is because I care, and it's because I love your family very much. I love your kids, your hubby, your everybody. I just feel like I would love to save everybody, but I can only do it one starfish at a time.
I know, and you can only make the effort, but you know what? Ultimately,
Yeah.
we are all responsible for our own destiny.
Yeah, we're all responsible for our own eternal salvation or our eternal destiny. Yep.
Ultimately, it's in the individual's hands.
Did you
We
see?
can only do so much.
Did you see the video that I sent you? That little that I added pictures to that audio.
Which one?
I just sent it to you on WhatsApp. Go and have a look. Tell me what you think.
Now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have a look.
Okay. We'll talk a little later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.